Do subscribe to Ekeeda channel and press bell icon to get updates about latest engineering, HSC and IIT JEE main and advanced videos.
As mentioned on your screen, there is a equation in which the copper is already balanced as well as the nitrogen is already balanced. While the oxygen is balanced or not, there has a separate step for that. So we are not going to look about that thing. So let us do the first step as determination for the oxidation number. So the step number 1 would always be determination of oxidation number. When I talk about the first reactant, in this case the first reactant is CuOH twice. In this thing the oxidation number of copper is not known to us, so therefore I could write the oxidation number in this way: 1 times of copper plus 2 times of OH minus ion, which will give an ultimate oxidation number as 0. But in this thing I have considered the oxidation number of copper as X, while the oxidation number of OH minus is found to be -1. So eventually I have got an answer as the oxidation number of copper in case of CuOH twice is nothing but +2. So therefore I could write the statement as the oxidation number of copper in CuOH twice is 2+. So now let's move towards the next one, that is the next reactant, which is N2H4. In this thing the nitrogen, which has variable oxidation number, and we have to calculate the oxidation number of nitrogen itself, while the oxidation number of hydrogen is almost fixed, that is it is 1. So therefore I could write it as 2 times nitrogen plus 4 times that of hydrogen, which will give an overall oxidation number as 0. Therefore 2 times of X plus 4 into oxidation number of hydrogen is found to be 1, which is 0. Therefore 2x will have a value of -4, but x will have a value of -2. So in this case the oxidation number of nitrogen in N2H4 is 2 minus or -2. So let's move towards the product one, and let us find out the oxidation number of product. So in this case the product was found to be copper. The product is copper, and as you can see there is no charge present on the copper, so therefore I could ultimately give an conclusion that the oxidation number of copper is 0 in case of copper itself. While we have also observed the next product, which is found to be N2, and in N2 also there is no charge present on the molecule, so therefore I could ultimately write it as the oxidation number of nitrogen in N2 is 0. So finally I could write the overall equation which is present as it is in this case, like CuOH twice plus N2H4, that should give us copper plus nitrogen molecule. If I evaluate, the oxidation number which was found of copper was 2, that is +2, and while that of the nitrogen in this case was found to be -2, and in this case of copper it is 0, and for this again it is found to be 0. So for this instance, if I compare the oxidation number of copper, it is changing, but it is changing from +2 to 0. So changing of from +2 oxidation state to minus or towards 0, it is only possible if electrons are being gained, and when electrons are being gained it is reduction. But when I talk it about when -2 oxidation state is been converted into 0 oxidation state, means I am talking about this one. So in this case the electrons are being lost. So therefore this would be oxidation. So let us move towards the next step, that is balancing electron, and let us see how many electrons are being lost and how many electrons are being gained during this process. So the next step will be step number 2, which means balancing electrons. If we observe that the number of electrons lost during oxidation and the number of electrons gained during reduction. So if I recall about the equation that we have find it out, so in this case if I talk that plus 2 is been converted into 0, so in this case 2 electrons are being accepted, while when I talk it about when minus 2 is converted into 0, in this case 2 electrons are being donated or are being lost. So therefore the number of electrons during oxidation that are being lost is 2, as well as the number of electrons that is gained as well as it is 2 itself. So this equation is electronically balanced, or the number of electrons are balanced in this case. So we don't have to multiply it by any number, we'll keep it as it is. So let us move towards the next step, that is balancing oxygen atoms. So step number 3 will be balancing oxygen atoms. So in this case, suppose if we consider the number of oxygen atoms on left hand side as well as the number of oxygen atoms on right hand side. So the number of oxygen atoms on left hand side was found to be 2, while that of on right hand side was found to be 0. So therefore it was 2 and this was 0. So there is deficiency of oxygen atom on right hand side. So since there is deficiency of oxygen atom, we will add H2O. But how much deficiency of oxygen atom? 2. There is 2 oxygen atoms which are present on left hand side, while there is no oxygen atom which is present on the right hand side. So there is a deficiency of 2 oxygen atoms. So therefore for that we are going to add 2 times or 2 moles of H2O on right hand side. So therefore adding 2 moles of H2O on right hand side. So the equation what we'll get is, it will be the same as it is that we have found it out in step number 2, but there will be addition of H2O on the right hand side. So the equation will be CuOH twice plus N2H4, that should give us Cu plus N2, and as I have mentioned I have to add 2 times of H2O, so I have added 2 times of H2O on right hand side. But this is not over yet, we have to balance the number of hydrogen also. So therefore we are going towards the next step, that is step number 4. So step number 4 will be balancing hydrogen atoms. So in this case if we balance the hydrogen atoms, will get the same equation, but the number of hydrogen atoms on left hand side should be calculated first, as well as the number of hydrogen atoms which are present on right hand side should also be calculated. So in this case if I observe the last equation that was being balanced, was the number of hydrogen which was 2 in this case while 4 in this case, which makes an ultimate of 6 times of hydrogen atoms which are present on left hand side. While if I compare the right one, so there are 4 atoms of hydrogen which are present on the right hand side. So therefore on left hand side there is 6, while on right hand side there are 4. So there is deficiency of hydrogen atoms on right hand side. So the number of hydrogen atoms on left hand side was found to be 6, while on right hand side was found to be 4. So there is deficiency of 2 hydrogens on right hand side. So in this case, what we are going to do is we will add 2 times of H plus ion on right hand side. So therefore, adding 2 times of H plus ion on right hand side. So this will give us an ultimate equation as CuOH twice plus N2H4. That should give us Cu plus N2 plus, which was 2 times H2O, plus again we have mentioned here as 2 times H plus. But this is not being balanced, and this is not being balanced in a basic medium. So for that we have to neutralize this H plus. So for that instance we are going to add OH minus ion, but on both the side. So therefore, adding 2 times of OH minus ion on both the side, we'll get an answer of, or we'll get an equation of CuOH twice plus N2H4. That should give us Cu plus N2 plus twice of H2O plus 2 times of H plus 2 times of OH minus, but 2 times of OH minus should be on both the side. So therefore I am adding 2 times of OH minus or OH group on the left hand side also. So this gives us an equation where the total number of water molecules here becomes 2 times of H2O plus again 2 times of H2O, which becomes 4 times of H2O. So therefore the ultimate answer that we have got is CuOH twice plus N2H4 plus twice OH minus. That has given us Cu plus N2 plus ultimately we have got 4 times H2O. So this is the final equation that we have balanced by using oxidation number method in basic medium. So thank you friends for watching this video. I hope you have liked this video and you have got to know that how to solve this kind of critical numericals or critical equations. So share this with your friends and please don't forget to subscribe Ekeeda channel. Thank you.